People always want to weigh the damage. They look at a broken arm and a body cast and decide who gets the sympathy. But when you sell your intimacy to survive, the ledger is different. They say it was a choice, so the trauma doesn't count. But you can't compare the flower to the seed. Pain is still pain. And my mind still remembers every transaction. They tell me I survived the night that others had it worse. They point to someone else's scars to try and lift my curse. They say the rooms, the cash, the cold were just a bet I made, and compare my quiet trauma to a darker kind of shade. I sold my time, I gave my touch, I compromised my power. And yes, somebody else was broken in a violent hour. But does their shattered bone erase the fractures in my mind? When we measure out our suffering, we leave our grace behind. Because hurt is still hurt, no matter the name. The transactions of bodies leave a different kind of flame. You can't judge my blooming by the dirt upon my seat, or tell a sex work survivor how much they ought to bleed. When you stack my trauma up to see who suffered more, you're just keeping me locked behind another heavy door. Let the stories be beautiful, wild and true. Because my kind of survival looks different from you. They look at me and decide someone else had it harder. That because money traded hands, I gave up my right to feel the damage. But a boundary pushed for a dollar bill is still a boundary broken. The mind doesn't calculate the exact price of survival. It just feels the immovable mark that stays with you. Empathy shouldn't break down just because my trauma doesn't look like yours. Because hurt is still hurt, no matter the name. The transactions of bodies leave a different kind of flame. You can't judge my blooming by the dirt upon my seat, or tell a sex work survivor how much they ought to bleed. When you stack my trauma up to see who suffered more, you're just keeping me locked behind another heavy door. Let the stories be beautiful, wild and true. Because my kind of survival looks different from you. I walked a path of neon lights and shadowed hotel rooms, and some will say at least you moved and didn't meet your doom. At least it wasn't forced on you. At least you walked away, as if the paths that we walk down keep all the ghosts at bay. Your body cast is heavy but invisible weights dragged down. The worth they try to strip from me in every part of town. There is no golden medal for who suffered through the worst, just a world of broken people trying to heal the very first. Don't shatter your empathy on the rocks of compare. I carried what I had to carry in the midnight air. The sex, the work, the aftermath that left a lasting mark. But dismissing my deep trauma leaves me stranded in the dark. The seed and the flower both weather the rain, and there is no hierarchy in the kingdom of pain. So don't tell me my pain doesn't measure up. Don't try to tell me what my survival looks like. A person with their own lived experiences is beautiful. I am beautiful. The seed cracked open so the flower could breathe, and I am finally breathing. No more comparisons, no more shattered empathy. Just me stepping forward, owning the immovable mark, and honoring the life I fought to keep.